Hello. All right, who's hosting today? Am I hosting?
Yes.
Okay, I'm hosting. Woo! All right. Welcome everyone to our new Friday time of 7-ish p.m. Eastern Standard and midnight British summertime. This is the Arghon AI Twitch channel, and this episode, our Friday episode, as usual, is the AI Weekly Roundup, where we talk about what we saw through the week, what we talked about through the week on this channel, and then we kind of project ahead. But like always, we want to start with a random question. So before I get to the random question, I'm just going to say this. Be sure to follow us on social media. That's at ArghonAI on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and youtube.com/Arghon, where you actually can check out some of the videos that have expired here. Over there, be sure to subscribe, and on Twitch, definitely do follow and friend us because we make lots of really great videos and you want to stay up to date. All right, so random question, ladies. You ready?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, would you rather have to climb Mount Everest to cure all disease in the world, or eat 5 live frogs to get rid of world hunger?
Oh no.
What?
All right, you know I can't make these things easy. I like to keep it a little.
Let's do both. Let's climb the mountains and eat frogs at the same time. No.
Freeze the frogs while you climb.
You know what? I have an answer.
Okay.
Jess, do you have an answer?
I think so.
Okay. I'm gonna eat the 5 live frogs to end world hunger because I do believe if adequately nourished, hopefully you could combat,
Disease.
the disease that is plaguing you current. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, question.
Yep.
You know, I like to throw a wrinkle in it. But if you eradicate disease, it doesn't matter how malnourished, people can't get disease.
Oh.
Like, it just eradicates all disease or eradicates all hunger.
Oh, like the ability to even be in that predicament in the first place?
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
Jess?
I'm going to go for the mountain. I think,
Okay.
but then I feel bad because then I'm like, I want to do it both.
No, it's good, Jess. Okay, you take Mount Everest, and I'll eat these frogs.
There you go.
Combat it together.
They're live frogs. I'll give you 5 live frogs.
If it means no one has to go to sleep on an empty stomach, yes.
So generous, the both of you.
There you go. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Makes the dream work. So then what do I do out here? I just watch you two and cheer you on?
Yeah.
Eat. Climb.
You better be cheering me on.
I would. You know I would. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for answering that random question. And for our viewers out there, let us know in the comments what you would do. Jess, can you just help me out? Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let us know what you would do. Would you eat the 5 live frogs to end world hunger, or climb Mount Everest to end all disease? Yeah, let us know what you do, and ask your people. Share this video here on this Twitch channel. Share this video with your friends and fam, and let us know what they say. Follow us on Twitter and send us a message. Tell us what they say at ArghonAI. We really love hearing your responses and getting to interact with you. Okay, and yeah, while you're here, we just want to mention a really great thing about this channel. So we are the Arghon team. We are a small part of the Arghon team. Arghon is an artificial intelligence engine that we created, and essentially we are what you think AI is, that brain of the robot, the adding of human logic, learning, and agency to computers to be able to make them do all kinds of things for you. And so we call our Arghon the artificial intelligence super companion. And to learn more about it, definitely don't just take our word for it. Visit arghon.com. That's arghon.com. Sign up, download Arghon for yourself, and then just see, what we're talking about and what we're going to be reviewing this week. Get into it. And like I said, be sure to follow this channel because we are going to be getting into more technical episodes where you actually get to see the nuts and bolts, the behind the scenes of building artificial intelligence, because we do more than just talk about it. We make it. We are about it. And for those of you who are interested in coding, you're going, hey, wait, you're going to have episodes where you talk about coding AI. I can't code, or I've never coded for artificial intelligence. Well, we have the solution for you. Go to arghon.com/vision 2020. And that's when where you're gonna be able to get lessons, whether you're a novice, never coded before, or you've coded and C++, JavaScript, everything, right? You can learn on vision2020.com. It's completely free. Downloading Arghon and signing up for Vision 2020 are completely free. And why don't you go over there and upgrade your coding skills, get to that new elite AI level. Don't hesitate. It's fun. And yeah, you'll find it's worth it. All right, ladies. So should we get into the groove?
Yes.
All right, awesome. All right, so I'm going to work backwards. I like to work backwards. So we're going to go from Thursday's episode to Tuesday's episode and Monday's episode. For those of you who are not familiar, we don't have episodes on Wednesday. So yeah, it's just Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. All right, so yesterday's episode is our Throwback Thursday series. That's where we look at technology of the past, as well as, the present. And we look at how does it evolve, what's it like, but more than that, how can it be changed and improved in the future with artificial intelligence? So it's a really fun series. One of us hosts it, and then we kind of take you through the journey of technology and lifestyle. So absolutely. If you want to see any of these episodes to kind of get a feel of what we're talking about, check the videos tab here on our channel, and check our clips as well for shorter views of fun stuff and interesting stuff that we talk about on here. But Thursday's episode was hosted by the lovely Jess and viewed by Paula and myself. And it was dealing with, and I'm going to let Jess kind of take it away for us.
So it was storytelling yesterday, which was really fun. I had loads of fun discussing it with you ladies. So yeah, we kind of went through the history. There is so much when you get into it. So obviously I couldn't cover all of it, but to kind of put it briefly, but also not give too much away because spoilers, we want you to go view it for yourselves. So definitely go check it out on the videos tab. But yeah, I ran through the history, so sort of 30,000 years ago, kind of how storytelling was sort of like a visual, oral medium of storytelling. So that it started with pigment paints in caves, and then we kind of jumped to ancient Greece, and then kind of ended up all the way into the 80s with music videos and how that's kind of a medium of storytelling, which is amazing and cool. I love the 80s. It's really interesting. And then, yeah, kind of talking about how it is now and how even social media is sort of our own way to tell our own story. And then how we envision it with AI. And we got into a really cool discussion of all these different things, including lighting in your house and all these really cool things that I just cannot wait to happen. Yeah. As we said yesterday, I'm going to be in my bed, maybe not reading scary stories, but I'm going to be like,
in the living room with friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Atmospheric, rain, it's on the speakers and all of that, but no creepy, like, knocking or scratching at stuff. No, don't want that.
She's like, that is my limit. That is my limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really great episode. I'm going to ask, what was one thing, that you, in 2 minutes or less, what's one thing that you really enjoyed? As Jess said, it was, for her, it was kind of going into the future and what it could look like. But Paula, what was one thing for you that stood out? about yesterday's episode?
One thing that stood out to me about yesterday's episode was the fact that, the origination of storytelling, how it began.
Mhm.
It all began with people wanting to hear stories different than their own.
Yeah.
Whether those stories, how it progressed in transit to different cultures and different countries. Um, it really expanded its horizons from where the original story began. But as
Hmm.
we've come through the years of all of the technological advances, what still remains is there is something very comforting about being told a story,
Mhm.
by being able to hear other people's stories, being
Yeah.
transported to someone else's life or a different world, and or a different time in life, and really getting to listen to and digest just a different way of thinking, a different way of being. I think that the core being of why stories exist. It's something that no matter the technological advances, like that same excitement is going to be there as it becomes easier to access different kinds of stories, different people's stories. As that changes, which I do believe is something that should change. It should be more accessible to everyone. Many different types of stories. Just the fact that we all love to be told a story, whether fact or fiction, and really to use our imagination to be placed in that time.
Yeah.
No matter what that looks like today, just the core values behind it, why we love storytelling so much remains the same.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was definitely, I think, an interesting point, that there was always this circular
Yeah.
kind of quality
Yeah,
to it, and that we as human beings kind of have these constants across culture, across time. Things about humanity kind of remain the same, and like you said, Paula, the fact that our storytelling, we have these elements that we always kind of go back to.
mm,
Yeah, it was great. For me, I think one of the things that really stood out for me was just the realization that, like, there's this really cool convergence where at some point it's like everything is a part of storytelling.
Yeah.
And I won't go into the details about what elements we were talking about necessarily. Definitely check out the episode. It's absolutely fun, and the visuals are great. So
yeah,
definitely check it out, because you'll get a lot more out of it than just us describing it here.
mhm,
But yeah, that was just seeing the way that kind of everything can be involved in storytelling, and that progress. Yeah, it had bits and pieces that advanced and advanced and advanced, but in the
yeah,
end, it's this large, encompassing thing. I always look forward to what the future holds when it comes
Yeah.
to AI, because as has been said many times before and in many different episodes, it is such a limitless technology, and that's not hyperbole. That's not, like, we're not being dramatic when we say that. There really is just so much, but it's similar to, I guess, when we look at just human capacity and the way that people can achieve anything. If artificial intelligence is giving human-like qualities to computers, it almost stands to reason that we would have that AI would have so much possibility, because humans have possibility. And then what it looks like when humans and AI come together is just, the sky is not even the limit. You can keep going
yeah.
to space and beyond, literally.
Yeah.
So that's very, very cool. Um, okay, so that was Thursday. Jeff, by the way, since you were hosting that episode, is there anything else you wanted to kind of mention about it for our viewers? Any
Hmm.
thoughts on that?
Yeah, as I said, I mean, it was really a fun episode, and I think, yeah, even going to the gaming aspect was really cool. And we've spoke about VR quite a lot on this channel, but I
Mhm.
think, yeah, just again, kind of thinking about how your AI can kind of get involved in the gaming experience. And I just, yeah, storytelling is involved in so many different mediums. So I think, yeah, adding your AI to sort of enhance that experience and make it so much more immersive, I cannot wait for it, and I'm just really excited to, trial stuff out and just jump in the deep end. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Well said. Well said. All right. So then let's jump back to our Tuesday episode. So on Tuesdays, we like to have our show is typically Topic Tuesday. And what is that about? Topic Tuesday is where we kind of go through the headlines, the AI headlines, and see what the main discussions are for the past week or so. And we pull out these articles, different elements, and we kind of riff on them. We talk about them. If you are an AI writer, if you're someone who writes about tech and STEM, and you have an article you want us to review, you want to hear what our thoughts are, do reach out to us. Send us an email. Just send it to vision2020@arghon.com, because we're interested in having you on. We're interested in seeing what your thoughts are, and this is a larger conversation. This channel is about bringing people into the discussion of AI. It isn't just for the most techie among us. It's for everybody. It's going to affect in a positive way everybody's life. So it's really great to have as many people as involved as possible. So if you either are a writer or you've read something really interesting, do not hesitate to send it our way so we can discuss it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first article was, who did the first one? Was that me? Who was that?
Yes, I think it was you.
It was.
It was you.
Yeah, and it was a review. Hold on, I have to click on it because I can't quite remember. So funny, I remember everyone else's article better than the one I did.
But yeah, that's always the way.
So ridiculous. Okay, so it was an MIT Sloan Review article, and it was basically talking about like what is and what isn't AI. And in that article, there were some points. We won't get into all of them, obviously, but basically, it was about the idea, and it's something we talk about a lot on this channel. The definition of artificial intelligence and what is true artificial intelligence, and what is hype, because a lot of the current conversation around AI is it's broad, right? Every single thing with an algorithm is called artificial intelligence, although that's not necessarily true. At Arghon, we see artificial intelligence as an overarching umbrella that includes a series of technologies that come together to give computers that human-like understanding, learning capability, and the agency to actually make choices and affect the world around us. So there are many different technologies that can be components in AI, but it's that culmination, it's that full rounded experience that really makes something artificial intelligence, or just another algorithm or another feature. Similar to how we would say your hand is not necessarily you, it's a part of what makes you. So the article was talking about what does AI really do, and they mentioned that it observes, analyzes, and learns. This article didn't go the full length that we do, where we talk about that umbrella. It really just talked about the learning and the understanding portion of it. And then it finished with ways that you can tell that something is either artificial intelligence or not. And it gave about 4 points, which I will quickly highlight, but I'm not actually going to explain them. It talks about how much data and different formats does it take in. Does it update data over time? What is its decision-making logic? Does it adapt? And it just talks about generally computers adapting. So I'm going to throw it out to you ladies. What were your thoughts on this and just the general discussion of what is and what isn't artificial intelligence?
I think, we speak about it again a lot on here, but there are certain buzzwords that are used in a negative way. And sometimes that it's not even speaking directly about AI. So again, it's just spreading awareness and sort of educating ourselves, because, we are aware as a startup AI company that AI and tech can be quite intimidating for people, but it's just making sure that, we spread awareness and make sure that people familiarize themselves with these, the correct terminology and sort of what AI actually is and how much of a positive influence it's actually going to be on so many different industries. And it will really help
Yeah.
people believe in AI, and just
Yeah.
feel that confidence in it kind of getting involved in different industries. So yeah, it's one of those things where you're always like, okay, buzzwords, that's not directly AI. But again, it's just kind of pointing out and saying, right, the reason why this isn't AI is because XYZ, and then just, educating people around us and people that tune in on the channel as well.
Yeah. What I so love about the Arghon AI Twitch channel is that, we speak a lot about what is and isn't artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe in the narrative that is going on right now in the world, and all of all of this mysticism surrounding artificial intelligence. I do believe it is important, even the way we structure this channel, in keeping in articles that may have just machine learning. Oh, bless you. That have machine learning components to it, but are categorized under artificial intelligence, which, I mean, machine learning is like one little piece, a part of the bigger puzzle that is artificial intelligence. There are many things that can collect data, but where artificial intelligence comes into play is, you are collecting said data. The AI is then learning from the data that is collected, and it is doing something with the data that is collected. That
Yeah.
is the difference in artificial intelligence, compared to just collecting data, or machine learning, or photo capturing, or
Yeah.
face recognition. Like, there are many different components to artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Many of those single components do go into the bigger picture of artificial intelligence, but that is not just it.
Yeah.
I really appreciated this article because, when we are exposed to articles like this, we can further explain what artificial intelligence is, what the accurate definition of artificial intelligence is. So, I always love the conversation, and the fact that this channel seeks to demystify the narrative surrounding artificial intelligence.
Yeah. Well said. Thanks. Well said.
Mm-hmm.
And, just again, for everyone out there, when we're talking about, what is artificial intelligence and what isn't, the best way to get to know it is to actually use it, to be a part of using it, to be a part of building it. So again, go to arghon.com. The link is at the top. And sign up. Get to actually use it. Talk to Arghon. You can talk to Arghon the way that we here on the panel are just talking to each other.
Yeah.
And that's a way to get yourself familiar with artificial intelligence. It's more than just a speech engine. It's more than just talking back and forth. There's so much that is involved in it. So definitely go and play around, because there's a lot there for you to see and for you to enjoy about Arghon. And again, also, it's another great way to really get into AI and to understand it is to build it. Be a part of creating it. You can create features. You can customize your Arghon so it's different from the next. You can build things, and then, if you're really proud of it, you can share it. We can actually make it something that is a part of the general Arghon feature set. So definitely go to arghon.com/vision 2020, because there is so much there for you. You can begin learning, begin coding. We believe in practical experience as part of learning, and you do not have to have a diploma or a degree to do this. You just start completely free. So it's for everyone. Come one, come all. Women, men, every gender, every experience, every background is welcome.
Yeah.
All right. So then our next article was robot divers, and I believe that was Jess.
That was mine. So yeah, the article was called "Robot Divers Could Use Artificial Intelligence to Save Coral Reefs," and it's from Forbes, and it was by a gentleman called Jeff McMahon. So yeah, again, not going to go too much into the article, because we really want everyone tuning in to sort of read the articles and tune into the episode as well, because the Topic Tuesday is always like a really good episode that kind of yeah, we kind of go from buzzwords, but then we can talk about how, effectively AI can be saving the world. So it's exciting. So there's
Yeah.
a company, a US scientific agency called NOAA, which stands for National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. And it's really sad because it's talking about coral reefs and the current state that we're in. And I believe Tom Moore, who is one of the reef restoration managers for the agency, has basically said that currently half the world's coral reefs have died, and the rest are expected to go exactly the same way in this century, which is absolutely heartbreaking. It's crazy. And yeah, the article kind of touches on that, the current divers and all of that, they can only spend really like 3 to 4 hours a day diving, and that's in like the best conditions, which are very rare apparently.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, Tom, he kind of talks about how he is looking into different AI technology, and I believe it was, what was it? It was, yeah, so he's got his eye on some underwater robotics technology that's currently used by offshore oil and gas industries.
Mhm.
But the issue with that is that the equipment is currently very heavy.
Mm.
And almost if they use that, yeah, it's not going to be good for the coral reef. So what he's kind of doing is kind of taking inspiration from that and sort of thinking, right, how can we kind of use this but adapt it for the coral reefs?
Yeah.
And he's very aware that it's not like an overnight thing, it's not going to change the click of the fingers, but if people kind of start inventing stuff now, then hopefully sooner rather than later we're going to have this technology that can save the coral reefs. And something that's really exciting that this agency is doing is that potentially it's going to host some competitions for innovators to propose coral restoration technologies to help with all of this. So it's really cool. It's sad, but it's so refreshing to know that people are taking AI seriously and not just thinking again it's just a robot that's going to take over the world. That we can use it to save the planet, because that is something that's really important. It all relates to us because that is the world that we live in. So yeah, it's sad, but it's nice knowing that people are using AI for good. So
Yeah.
yeah.
One of the cool things, that I think you bring up such a great point. And you know what? Should I wait? And Paula, you say your response first. What are your thoughts on this? What was something about what was said that stood out to you? And then I'll go after.
I was really encouraged that they are currently trying to figure out ways in which artificial intelligence can help with the coral reef situation. I think that people who anyone is able to change the world for the better.
Yeah.
It's just an idea, and where do you go after you have the idea? Where do you go after possibly human effort falls short of where you are really in wanting to go in your intentions of making some substantial change to the environment or
Right.
the coral reef. um, I do believe that artificial intelligence can be a positive addition to any effort out there of people wanting to change the world.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence can go beyond the human condition.
Mm-hmm.
Only being able to be down there for a few hours a day, an artificial intelligence and AI could monitor that 24/7
Yeah.
around the clock, see the different changes that happen throughout the day. Maybe the coral reef is more susceptible to nutrients at a certain point of the day with the sun shining, and
Yeah.
all of these things can be put into the artificial intelligence brain, and really all of the data gathered, what is output from that data gathered can
Yeah.
really change the livelihood of these coral reefs.
Yeah, and it's like truly a collaboration with human and AI, because you know, you make a great point about, you know, AI being able to do that pretty much 24/7, where us humans, you know, our lungs and all different kind of stuff, we can't be done there.
Incapacity for
We just don't have
underwater
that.
pressure at a
So
certain point.
yeah, exactly. So it's physically impossible. As much as, you know, the divers that currently are doing it, they're doing the best job possible. But it just shows the efficiency, and again, we're only human. We can only do so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
in the living room.
What time is it?
so do we have a guest? Do we have a guest? We're live.
Do I have a guess?
The guest is welcome. They're just getting the conversation.
That's our welcome.
Hey, how you
Hi,
My brother.
currently live on our Twitch channel.
doing, everybody?
Hi.
David.
Hi, David. You're
Yeah.
on the Twitch channel right
awesome.
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're talking about how AI can be used to help save the coral reefs. And Paula actually just made a great point. And one of the things I wanted to say in response to Paula's point, Paula said something earlier. She said that AI can go beyond the human condition. And that's really true. The fact is that artificial intelligence really does expand what humans are capable of, right? You don't have to pay an AI. You don't have to worry about health benefits, as well as, you know, again, clocking out, you know, there's family, there's life. Human beings have certain limitations. And when you think about that, when you think about the fact that AI can be used as this collaborative collaborator with human beings to save so many elements of our planet, what's so great about that is, you know, we kind of live that experience. You were cracking me up over here. We kind of live that experience within Arghon. You know, again, Arghon was built out of a desire to actually help and improve lives. You know, this started as an idea that Kali had to help his mother-in-law, you know, help maintain and track her health and well-being. And, you know, in so many different areas and so many different features within the Arghon umbrella, the ecosystem that we have built. Again, go to our website, you can check it out. There's so much there. That idea of service, that idea of really AI is in service to humanity. Like we like to say, artificial intelligence, specifically Arghon, is a lifestyle enhancing super companion. That doesn't just mean an individual lifestyle, that expands to around the globe, to you know, the coral reef, to the atmosphere, satellites that help track, you know, ground moisture for limiting wildfires. All of these different articles that we're seeing here, you know, it's amazing when you look at artificial intelligence. It's so much more than the hype, and it's so much more than the kind of fear mongering that often happens because people aren't familiar with it. At Arghon, we believe that exposure and familiarity helps to eliminate fear and create opportunity. So, you know, for our viewers, and David, thank you for joining in to this.
Definitely. One thing to add, since I'm here, I think that you're spot on. I think that like wisdom and intelligence is equity, and what artificial intelligence does, it allows you to capitalize on this equity, and efficiently utilize this equity. So I think artificial intelligence, you're right, it does allow us to go further than what we can go to, you know, just on our own. So yeah, I think you're definitely on the right track.
Oh, thank you. All right.
Cool.
Yeah, but very well said, Paula. So I just wanted to add all of that on there. You know, it's not a spiel. Like this is the truth.
Right.
This is who we are as a company, but it's also the promise of AI. It is truly what's possible here. So do we have any more comments before we move on to the last but not least article, which is from Paula? So Paula, take it away with you know, that major thing that you want to highlight from that article, and talk about what we learned after.
Yes. This article, ladies, please correct me because it's not really up in front of my face right now. But I
can say it for you.
10 ways in which artificial intelligence can be used for good.
Yeah, it was 10 wonderful examples of using artificial intelligence for good. It was by Bernard Marr from
Bernard Marr. Yes. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you. There were a lot of different examples given in this article, all the way from cancer diagnosis to saving the bees to, making sure the checks and balances are in place for the media, and
Yeah.
making sure that what the consumers of media are receiving is accurate and factual. There were just so many different expansive topics in the article. I'm not going to go into them specifically because I do encourage everyone to check out our Topic Tuesday. There is a lot of information that was in that episode, but also it was a fun episode, and also all of the articles are posted to that episode. You can catch all of our fun episodes that we have done in the past under our videos portion of our Arghon AI Twitch channel. What I was really encouraged by was the fact that all of these different sectors in the professional fields are seeing that artificial intelligence is something that can enhance their company, enhance the user's experience with their company, but also expand and make better the services provided. In the medical field, I mean, the medical field alone is, the possibilities are truly endless in the medical field. How artificial intelligence can capture images better, how it can take the information that was given during testings and almost predict um, diseases in a way that maybe the human eye misses, maybe our just maybe we just miss it. The human error rate is much bigger than an artificial intelligence error rate. So utilizing artificial intelligence, climate change, in combating world hunger, trying to find a way to make the best possible seeds for different climates, for different environments, for it to thrive in any environment it is put in. I do believe that artificial intelligence, in many different creative minds and hands, it's able to change the world, change the trajectory of diagnosis and preventative measures. It was a really encouraging read, and I'm always encouraged on the topic and the conversation of artificial intelligence, because I feel empowered knowing that there are artificial intelligence brains out there like Arghon that really can you know do these things and make sure it is an inclusive experience for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love it. We have to keep in mind that everyone comes from many different places, many different backgrounds. We are not all the same, but that is what makes the world so beautiful. And to have an artificial intelligence brain that can then um, accommodate for the varying different human experiences, it's great. It's great. Yeah.
Jess, did you have a reaction to that article,
Yeah.
or something that you thought, that one point that you thought was really great?
Yeah, I think it kind of leads on from what we were speaking about in the article that I presented, and I believe in the article in the medical section it was talking about cancer diagnosis, and I think it said it had like a 94% accuracy rate or
Yes,
something.
that's exactly the number. Yeah.
Which is insane. And I think, again, it's so important to highlight those kinds of statistics, because people so often focus on the negatives and would rather tell you the failure rate rather than, how
How well
good.
it is.
Yeah, exactly. So it's so important to not overlook the ways AI is a positive influence in the world, and the many amazing things that it can do, and that it is doing for the world that we live in and for us as humans. Because again, people focus on the failure rate, but we've said before that AI is not perfect, but us as humans are not perfect. So it's just, again, realizing that, it's important to take it for what it is, but collaborate. And yeah, it's just going to be amazing when it gets involved in, the medical industry even more than it already is. And the fact that it's not only saving lives, it's saving the world that we currently live in. But yeah, it can be your best friend. It can be your super companion, just like Arghon. So yeah, it's a really good, really positive article. Really like talking about ones like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it was so cool when something that was said, again, Paula, you're saying a bunch of stuff that's making my brain go wing. But as far as like everyone can be a part of this.
Yeah.
That AI is not, it's not an exclusive thing. It's not, only 5, guys coded this in one garage and you were on the outside of that garage. No. I like that the article highlighted that, people with disabilities can and should and will be a part of the AI experience, and that it can actually be a tool for them. So that was just one of the things that I thought was really cool, because I think we very much, as able-bodied people, generally, it can be really, it can be such an afterthought that everyone does not have the same ability.
Yeah.
And so I very much enjoy the ways that AI can be a part of serving the disabled community and various communities within that, because there's all kinds of things we can see, things that are not visible disabilities. So it's just really great because you can go from mental health to actual physical ability, and using AI aided machines to help with things as far as mobility and physical function. It really is boundless. So it's exciting.
Yes.
It's exciting.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. As you are saying that, all my brain is thinking about is this phrase of like, artificial intelligence was made to empower and not exclude. We want everyone to be a part of this experience. We want everyone to feel empowered in their communities, to feel comfortable, to know that there is a place at the table for everyone. Maybe certain things that we take for granted. One of the articles, one of the subsectors was talking about an AI that was created to aid people who are hard of hearing in translating a whole book, but translating it into a sign language. But every time we read these articles on Topic Tuesday, sometimes I forget that this is not an experience everyone can partake in. But artificial intelligence and people who have these ideas, everyone has an idea. People have these ideas and they partner with an AI that can truly take the idea into something that is able to really enact change. And you don't have to hire thousands of people. It really is just that idea of, I would like to help, and how can we help, and utilizing AI to be another facet in that aid. That's all I have to say. Just, I was encouraged by that, seeing the vast ways in which artificial intelligence can be of help.
Hey, well said. And agreed. All right, well, that is our Tuesday episode. Again, to get more about this, more details on the articles, to really get into the meat and the bones and the beef, or for the vegans out there, into the really great like tofu of the matter, definitely watch our Topic Tuesday episode, and get that good flavor, get that good knowledge down into your your brain and your gut.
Get that
I think
jackfruit.
an analogy somehow, huh?
That jackfruit meatiness in the
Get that
vegan world.
jackfruit
We
meatiness.
get you.
Yeah.
Jackfruit life. Yes.
Oh my gosh. We are definitely food people. If you can't tell, we are foodies on this channel. We actually all enjoy talking to each other, and oftentimes we're talking about food when we are talking to each other.
Yeah.
So you're just seeing little bits of our like real conversations leach into the channel. Okay, so for Monday, Monday we have flags and polls.
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about Monday's episode. Go ahead.
Okay. Monday is our flags and polls episode, and that is when we like to present scenarios that either bring up flags or we're polling people, we're polling each other to see, what everybody thinks on, various elements and topics, and they range from the ridiculous to the very serious, and oftentimes within the same episode, and sometimes within the same particular scenario. So they're really fun. Definitely go back and watch that because we got into mischief somehow. I don't know how it became as crazy as it did, but we always have fun on Mondays, and it's definitely something to look forward to. So be sure to follow and friend us here on Twitch because these episodes are a blast. And again, it's something to look forward to on Mondays. It makes our Monday fun, and let it make your Monday fun. So we challenge you, definitely go and press that follow button. Yeah. All right. So scenario one, we like to do scenarios. Scenario one, because we wanted to start it off with a real humdinger. The scenario was basically saying we had a user of an unnamed AI, so this is not Arghon. Before I say that, so these scenarios usually they're not about Arghon. There's no wrong or right answer, so it's just to get you thinking about the situation, what you would do or what the AI should do. It's to put you in the experience of AI in your life. So the first scenario, user of unnamed AI, not Arghon, told their AI that they were out of toilet paper. Now, this user had preferences for their toilet paper. And then we had brand A and brand B that actually, that had different elements. And based on those criteria, the user's criteria, what they prefer in their toilet paper, the AI had to choose which brand of toilet paper should they go with. And weirdly enough, it was controversial. You don't think things like this are going to bring up all kinds of debate, but they really do. Because, everyone's got a preference, and then you're talking about, okay, your own preference versus the AI. And, the AI's got to choose for the user, but it's so hard for... All right, I won't get into it too much. I'm going to let the ladies actually talk about what their reaction was to this scenario and what your experience was with the fan interaction, with the viewer interaction, because we really, as we said, we love when you hop into the conversation.
Well, I mean, I was the one that presented these scenarios, and I realised as you were talking about it, it seems like it's always me that brings up like toilets or bums. So I apologise. I'll try and avoid it.
There's definitely a bum thing happening with you most of the time.
Bum thing. You said bum thing.
Yes. I don't know. I was trying to find a nice way to say it.
Bum.
There's other ways that it could be mentioned that would just not be as nice. So.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to be as polite as possible. But so I was the one that presented it, and I just thought it was such like a funny way to kind of kick off Monday. But I think my highlight from that scenario was how personal Paula took this scenario, and literally one of the funniest episodes.
You want to offer a rebuttal since she just mentioned you here in this scenario?
Called you out.
Did a reaction.
It was almost like I was a little bit personally offended by this. I'm just kidding. It was really, I could not stop laughing. It was so funny to think of the scenario, and to me personally. And this is where my bias came in, which was a bigger discussion within the episode. Yeah. So I encourage everyone to go and watch that episode because in between all of the laughs, there were actually some really great bits and bytes about AI and certain facets in the AI world that are real conversations right now, and in the tweaking of those to make the best experience for users of AI. But for me, in my mind, there was no other answer besides A. The fact that we even had to discuss further, like all of these different possibilities. I mean, it shook me to my core.
You see what we're saying?
And then the AI, which we're not talking about Arghon in these scenarios. It's not specific to Arghon, but
just general fictitious AI.
Yeah.
The AI threw me for a loop, and I'm just gonna say that I was shocked, I was appalled, but you know what? Yeah, it was something.
You know what was so fun about that, though? Not just the fact that you really took it personally, but it was so fun because we've really got a lot of response. The thing with our Monday episodes, with our flags and polls, is they really bring out the opinions. You think you go in thinking you're just gonna watch it and kind of listen and like, oh yeah, we picked this one. You know, it's like, you know, they love me not. They love me not. And then at the end of the panel, you're just gonna have the answer. But the truth is that these scenarios really make you think. You know, you start questioning why you think what you think. You start thinking about the like, you know, and then you realize, you know, about your biases. You realize about like the things you took for granted. You know, I think each of us, when we have these flags and polls, we come away with some kind of surprise. The surprise might be that, you know, we're like, wow, why do we all agree on this? Or the surprise is, how come no one agrees on this?
Yeah.
You know, it is kind of like this really fun grab bag of random insanity because you really can get any kind of result. And I think the scenarios are just, you know, not to toot our own horn, but I think, you know, they are really well written. Different people within our team are writing the scenarios, so we don't always know, you know, what scenario it's going to be or what the answers are. So you really do get genuine reflection and spontaneous response. So absolutely go out and go check go look at our videos tab and check out Monday's flags and polls. That was I think it was the 22nd that came out. But it was, oh boy, scenario one was a trip. It was really, toilet paper is, as you all know, as our viewership knows, you know, our friends and viewers here, toilet paper has been quite controversial in 2020. And so
just a little bit.
Just a little bit. And so it really brings out the strong opinions, whether or not you expect it, which is so fun. Okay, and then we had scenario two. I don't want to linger too long on that. Again, go check it out. It's really fun. Scenario two, and that scenario was kind of talking about contestants in a statewide radio competition, who would win an all-expense AI planned vacation, and it was like sponsored by some, you know, major travel company or AI company. Again, not Arghon. This is all fictitious, and there were no right or wrong answers. But they had the contestants in the competition had a few different criteria that they had to meet, and then obviously in order to win, they had to be able to perform those things, and they performed them to different levels. You had contestant A, and it had to do with songs and so on and so forth. Again, it was a radio show, so you know usually there's music and lists and stuff involved. And then contestant B also was performing, and we had to choose who we thought the AI should pick to win. You shared with us who you thought should win, and then it turns out the AI picked one of the two. And yeah, so ladies, just what was your response to that scenario? And I do remember there was a big discussion about one of the particular criteria, specifically having to do with giving back and community service. So what was the big thing that you thought of in that one, without kind of going too far into it? You don't want to spoil it too much.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
I think, yeah, that's what's so interesting about flags and polls is because sometimes we're presented with scenarios that actually the criteria is very similar, but it differs slightly. So again, it kind of brings up that whole topic of bias, which, yeah, even with toilet paper, we went into that. And, that was like a fun, silly topic, but still it brings that out. And I think it
Yeah.
really highlights in AI, how important it is to make sure that your AI is getting all the correct data, and you're not, subconsciously putting your own bias into an AI because
Yeah, influencing it. Yeah.
that can cause a lot of issues. But yeah, it was really interesting because it's also like you're questioning what the AI should do, but then you're questioning yourself. So you're like, oh, but why do I think these things? Why am I going through this? Why? And again, it gets into that conversation in the group, but also everybody tuning in, and getting involved as well, which is always really interesting because it makes you think
Yeah.
differently about certain situations. And Paula, you brought up that on Monday, sorry, and it was really intriguing because again, sometimes you don't realize your own bias. So the fact
Yeah.
that you highlighted that was amazing.
Paula, what were your thoughts on it? Again, without like spoiling it for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how our human condition can almost miss certain aspects once you are like tuned into one thing. It's almost like, well, no, like these things are also important, but is it important to you?
Yeah.
So I think that was a huge conversation on Monday, and yeah, I don't want to spoil it. That's just all I'm gonna say. I thought that it was really interesting because in this discussion, almost in the bigger picture of things, for us to always be mindful of like, oh, well, why do I think that?
Yeah.
I mean, what no matter what we are speaking about, I think it's always good to have those checks and be
Yeah.
like, okay, is there something else going into my factoring of why this is better than this? And
Yeah.
I do believe as human beings, that should always be like that checks and balances
Yeah.
system should always be something that that inner dialogue is always there. So yeah.
No, it's fun because I think we were all surprised in some way because I think we generally see ourselves as open-minded and as fair-minded as possible people. Like the team here. Not that I'm trying to speak for any of you. You can kind of agree or disagree. But I'll speak for myself. Like I see myself generally as a very open-minded and I try to be as fair and considerate as
Yeah.
possible. But even I have biases that then influence what I lean towards. But you also there's always another side to something. There are things that you can't possibly consider. Again, that's the human limitation.
Right.
And so it's so important that we don't pass those kinds of things on to the AI when we're building it, when we're putting in information, when we're doing the various things involved with using AI. So it was fun. It was fun to actually explore and genuinely I know I was like kind of I tend to like instigate with these things. I'm like, yeah, but what about I play devil's advocate,
That's
not to
good
be
though.
annoying, but just to see
No,
like
it's good.
and but even as I was saying it to you was having the reaction of like that was my bias too.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. So we challenge you to go and watch that Monday's flags and polls because you might find yourself uncovering things and learning things and in a fun way, not in a pressurized way, not in a way that makes you feel bad, but in a fun way, learning about how you see things and how you see the world. It's a great. I think our flags and polls are a great eye opener. A great eye opener for not just the tech industry and AI, but beyond that to just how we operate in real life.
Yeah.
So if you want to have a nice, well-rounded experience, just follow this channel, and then you get to watch every single episode and get all the nutrients and the goods from every show. Yeah. thank you, ladies, for participating in this episode. As always, you are excellent panelists. And to our viewers now and in the future, thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to follow us across our social media. Do follow us here on Twitch at ArghonAI. Follow and friend us here. And follow and like and subscribe us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at ArghonAI and youtube.com/Arghon. Go to arghon.com, ARGHON.com to sign up, download Arghon, and begin using your AI for free today.
Yeah.
And for more information to learn how to code and get into all of that good stuff, go to arghon.com/vision2020. Again, that's arghon.com/vision2020. And get started. It's completely free. You don't have to have a degree. All are welcome. And you go right from soup to nuts. So just go on and upgrade your life. So thank you, ladies, and thank you for all of you who watched, and we look forward to next week. Next week, again, our Friday episodes are going to be starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. That's midnight British summertime. Thank you, Jess, for being up at midnight for all of this. So we're going to have our Monday episode is Flags and Polls, and that's going to be at 3 p.m. And Monday through Thursday, all 3 p.m., except for Wednesday, no episode on Wednesday. And then Friday again at 7 p.m. So we look forward to seeing you there. And from all of us here at Arghon, including the people you don't see, we say thanks and peace. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.